Hey, it's another day. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for watching. We're gonna pick up now on the last part of this quarter panel. This section back here. Tell you what I think is gonna happen. It's got some rot in this area. Of course, this body line down to the bottom is rotted. What I'm expecting to find when I cut all this out is this inner lip right here on the outer wheelhouse is going to be gone, probably rotted out. So I have to fab that, and I'm figuring that the bottom part of the trunk pan drop off, the trunk floor drop off under there that the outer quarter hooks attaches to, I'm figuring that's going to be bad too. So and I don't remember if you guys watched when I did the quarter panel on the other side. I made a template on the other side, and I said, when I got that template made, I said, you know what, this will be great because I'll be able to flip this over and use it on this side as a template to match. And I cut a piece of sheet metal already that was oversized. It's way too big, and that's fine. That's what I usually always do anyway. But I was going to save that template to make this outside piece with, and well, that's been probably I don't know, probably a month and a half or so ago when I did that other side, and yeah, I threw all that away. So it appears that I might have to make another template. I don't know, since I have this piece cut, I'm gonna lay it in here and see what it looks like and see how it fits. So but let me give you just a little better idea of what this looks like. Okay, here's up close, so you can see I can put my finger through there, so I know all the back side of this bottom lip is probably gone. I can see a hole. Can you see it? I can see a hole right there. So the underside of that's not looking real good. Now you see the Bondo that's in this area right here, and so I'm gonna have to cut this out up here, which is gonna match about right there. So this will all cut out, and then I'll have to make this little part of the body line in the lip, and I'll make this flange piece separate from this body line piece more than likely. That doesn't look like it's got too much contour or shape in it, so that'll be almost a straight piece right there. On the other side, the body line part of this was not in that bad a shape, but I'm not so sure about this one, so I may have to cut this right up at the top edge of this body line and bend it right here and make it all the way down to the bottom. But as you can see on the bottom, it is completely full of Bondo, and it looks like back here they tried to do a patch of some kind like they did on the rocker area, and it wasn't a very good patch, and then they just smeared it with Bondo all over the place. So that's what we got. So I'm gonna I think the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lay down here and fit this, just kind of set this piece up here and see, make sure it's gonna be plenty big enough, which I'm pretty sure it is, and I may mark it and try and bend for this body line, because I can always cut that off if I don't need it, or cut part of it down. So let's see let's see what we get into whenever I cut into this. So stick around and here we go. What I did is I took that piece that I had, I went ahead and put my bend in it, as you can see, and I rolled it in the English wheel real quick and just got a slight crown on this on the panel. Kind of trimmed it down where, remember, it's kind of close to the top, just laying it up here, but remember when you cut all this out, it's going to let it move up. So I'm going to have more than enough meat up here because I got about 3/4 of an inch, and this body line is 5/8 of an inch. So I got plenty of trimming that I can do, and I left it long on this end and it's a little long on this end down here where I can trim it out like I need to. So that's fitting pretty good. It's long enough down here to cover the bottom. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to set this off to the side. I think I'm going to lay me a mark on just below the top of that body line, all the way down to here. And I'm going to cut it there, I'm going to cut it here, and I'm going to cut it on the bottom here and see what it looks like on the inside. Hoping, probably won't be, but I'm hoping this back edge is not that bad, but that never seems to work out for me. So let's see. Cut off wheel, get my shield. Let me set my chair over here. I guess I'll worry about marking a line. I can just cut it. Okay. All right. Guess what? Right off the bat, I gotta get a battery. I got one right over there. At least I think this one's charged up. We're gonna see. Yeah, that's more better. There's one of my old gloves. Garbage in this thing. Well, rusted enough the spot welds just popped loose. Okay, well, show you what we got. It's pretty nasty. You know, they put a hole here to drain, but I think, personally, those drains do more damage than do good, because I think it lets some moisture come in here. Because what happens is you get dirt and stuff build up in here, and then this lets the moisture come in, and the dirt and the debris and all that holds that moisture too. And yeah, weather stripping may leak a little bit, or you may get some water in through the top, but it's always coming in through here. You're driving down the highway, your tire slinging water right in here. So I won't put that back in. That's just me. That's my personal opinion. You know, engineers had a different opinion, but boy, I've seen some engineers that, they do some questionable stuff. But it's rotted out pretty bad. So I'm gonna get a measurement, and it looks like that. That's rotted away right there too. So before I bend that up too bad, I'm gonna get me a measurement on probably this rust line right here. Then I'm gonna go cut me a piece of sheet metal so I can cut that out and patch that. So stand by while I do that. All right, let me show you what I did. Cut me a piece. My piece that I got over there is not quite long enough to go from this edge to the end. So I used what I had, and then I'm gonna fill in down here. But I bent me a flange for the bottom, which when you put it in here, this is what that panel's gonna weld to down here. So I bent me a flange for the bottom like that. Brought it all the way back. I got it fitted in back here. I got it marked on a line. Cut myself. Marked on a line in here. Now I'm gonna cut that out. I'm gonna cut that piece out, and then I'll cut this edge over here so that I know how low I gotta go, or how high it's gotta go up in there. That way I make sure I keep my line right. So, and I shrunk this end down here because this end turns up just a little bit at the end. So I shrunk this end just a little bit to make it fit. So, and it's got some beads rolled in it right here in 3 spots. After I cut it out and do a final fitment, I'll mark where those bead locations are, and I'll put them in this panel to match up with that. So let's cut that thing out, see how that turns out. Alright, now I just need to do some fitting. Right now I'm marking those beads. Those beads need to line up. I'm going to mark the underside to trim that panel down. Alright, so what I've done now is I mark the back side of this where I need to cut it to match that, and then I made my marks for my bead rolls right there. So I'm going to go trim this edge off real quick, and I'm going to go roll these beads in real quick, and they're only just, you know, 1/2 inch or so. Just to line up there and come down just a little bit. So give me just a second. I'll be right back. Okay, I got my panel all fabbed up. I got my beads in it. I got it trimmed down to fit. Everything lines up for fitting it. So I'm gonna start tacking this bad boy in, like I need to trim that end down just a little bit. I spoke too soon, didn't I? Let's see if that does it. There we go. That's the ticket. All right. So I'm going to start tacking this thing in. I'll get it tacked in. And then I'll go finish it up like I usually do. So, get my other glove on so I don't burn myself like I probably will. So, lined up here. I'm on fire. Ow, 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 I'm on fire. All right, I got it all welded in. You pull the light down here where you can see. That's all welded in. I'm not even going to grind this. It's good penetration to the other side. Let's see if I can show you the other side real quick. See, I got good penetration all the way through on the other side. It's pretty smooth, and I'm not going to grind that down. That's going to get covered with like some undercoating. Inside here, nobody's ever going to see the inside of this right here. Unless you put one of them little spy camera things in there and want to look at it. I don't know why, but that'd be the only way. So I'm not worried about grinding that down. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tack this section right here. I'm going to try and make this piece out of one piece of metal, if I can. So let me see what I can do. So stick with me. All right, let's see if I can make this out of one piece. And I'm sure my battery's going to die on my GoPro before I get this done. So, this material right here is so thick, my shrinker won't really grab enough of it to put. It's bending it, but it's not. I can tell right now it's not going to bend it enough. So I'm probably going to have to go old school, cut it with my wheel, with my marker. Cut it with my wheel right here and bend it up. Let's see if that works. Then I could probably cut it with the shear. If you do that,
You got a bend that needs to turn like that. Look at there, what that does, huh? So, now, I need that to turn out. You see how I did that? It's because it needs to kick that way. So, and I got it bent too much, so I got to flatten this out right here. I'm looking at that the wrong way. Didn't need to do what I just did. Instead of this in here, I was thinking body line outside. But that's not what I needed. So I actually have to bend this back in from where I just straightened it out. So let's bend it back. Have to do it that way. Too much. That's not gonna work. Oh. I guess I'm gonna have to make that in 2 pieces. That's just not gonna work. Alright, well, told you the battery was going to go dead. So I ended up going ahead, getting this piece welded in. Got it all ready to go. I went ahead and cut this out, and I had more of this inner wheel well that was bad. So I ended up cutting more of this than I had anticipated originally. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to make this inner lip, and get it all welded and connected. And then I'm going to make this piece to come down and meet this body line, and then we can put the lower piece in. So that's where we're at. So I'm going to go bend the piece up for this real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, guys and gals, the dummy came out again. I forgot to start the video, so I was just talking away, making this piece right here and getting it welded in, but I didn't have the video going. So I made this piece, I welded it in. I'm not grinding none of that down because nobody's ever going to see that ever once I cover it all up. So I'm going to make this piece on the outside. It'll come from here down to here, meet this body line here, and then the lower piece will fit in underneath here and come up. So let me go make that piece, and maybe when I come back I'll remember to hit the record button. So stick with me. Alright, I made the piece. This is it. I might have to do a little trimming on the bottom probably, but I'm gonna get it tacked in. In case you didn't notice, I forgot to drill my spot weld holes. Just to show you, I goofed up a little bit. You can see that gap. I'm going to have to fill with some filler of some kind. So I got a clothes hanger somewhere right here, and I'll use this to fill that gap. Okay guys, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make this 5/8 on for my body line, and I'm gonna trim the body line off right here, and then I'm gonna fit this up in here, and then I'm gonna mark the bottom where I need to break or bend the bottom end to match the underside of this. And you saw me straightening that or bending that out a little bit because it doesn't need to be at a 90. It kind of needs to be at an angle like that. So that's what I was doing. I was straightening it out a little bit. Probably need to straighten it out just a little bit more. But let me get this fitted first. So I got my 5/8 body line ready. I set it up here, put it in place. Marked where I need to bend it on the bottom. Bend it on the bottom so it'll line up with here. I gotta go drill my spot weld holes for the bottom and trim this off right here, and it'll be ready to put on. So I'm gonna go do that real quick, and I'll come back and we'll get it tacked in. So and just want to say thank you guys for being around. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. First time subscribe, first time to watch. Hey, if you'd hit that like, subscribe, share, comment, all that good stuff, I'd really appreciate it. Thank you very much. So and today I looked, and I don't know, this is like a week before the end of the month of August, and I was up to like 793 subscribers. So I had a little jump in the last week or so. I don't know what changed. I don't know what I did different. So unless it's something to do with YouTube, I don't know. But thanks everybody that's subscribed. Thanks everybody that's watching. Thanks everybody supporting the channel. I appreciate it greatly. So stick around. I'm gonna go finish prepping this up, and I'll come back and we'll get it tacked in. Okay, got it all prepped up. Let me get my helmet. Got it all prepped up, ready to go. Everything's trimmed and fitted. Get it in place, get this thing tacked in. Come on, work with me. Alright guys, I'm gonna keep stacking tacks like that until that's all welded up, and I'm gonna weld my spot welds to the bottom down here, and then I'm gonna grind the welds down, and I'm gonna patch the end here and the end here and cap those off real quick, and I'll come back and show you what we got at that point. So stick around with me, be done in a minute. Alright everybody, it's a new day. By the time I got through welding and everything yesterday, it was about 6 o'clock in the evening, and I needed to go in and get some dinner and stuff, so I called it a day. But came back out this morning and did all the grinding, got everything ground down,
all the welding's finished, and I think it looks pretty good. Well, it looks a lot better than it did before, because it looked like Swiss cheese before. So but here's the finished product. So here's the end over here. It's a done deal. And for this car, it's a milestone for this car, actually, for me, because this quarter panel and that panel I just finished was the last outer panel on this car that needed to be repaired. I have 2 spots that are under the back seat area on the floor pan that I need to fix, and there's the rear trunk support around the body mount area in the very back of the car underneath, and there's 2 body mounts on the front part of the trunk floor that have to be fixed, and I think it's a total of 6 spots, 6 round, basically round spots, other than where the back supports are, that need repairing in the trunk. And once I do those 2 things, the floorboard in the trunk, that'll be all the rust repair for this car. So I'm getting real close. I have to do the firewall. I gotta close up all the holes in the firewall, flatten the firewall out, but I'm going to be able to do that in one panel, and I'm going to weld over the top of the old firewall and actually spot weld from the inside to the new panel to weld it all together. But I think I'm going to try and put a bead roll of some kind in it, but I'm going to give it some kind of texture, design, or something, or whatever you want to call it, to make that firewall look pretty nice. And he's wanting to put vintage air in it and all that stuff, so smoothing firewall out will be a good thing for it. So other than that, for this one, it's not a very long video. I think after I edited it and did a little fast forward through a lot of stuff, ended up being about, I don't know, 40 minutes or whatever. So the time I get done with this, you'll be 45 minutes. So once again, thank everybody for watching. I hope you enjoy watching what I'm doing, and I hope you come back, because I appreciate it. So if you would like, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, so I'll know that hey, there's some people out there that are enjoying my videos, and it kind of helps me along. So with that said, as I always say, hey, don't look down on yourself, don't look down on others. Keep your head up. You can always get stuff done if you keep that head up. Get out there and work on these old rides. Save a part of history. And believe me, on this car, I have had to keep my head up, because there's many times I just wanted to put my head down and cry about parts of this car. But get out there and work on them old rides and save a part of history and make somebody happy, make yourself happy. And with that being said, until next time, bye.